dear students, welcome back to chemistry class. So we will begin our last chapter, structure of atom. Okay, so we have already completed the atoms and molecules, and now the chapter structure of atom. So what is the structure of atom, or what are the internal arrangements in an atom? That's what we will see in this chapter. But from the previous chapter we have learned Dalton's atomic theory, and there the first postulate is atoms are indivisible. We have learned that postulate, atoms are indivisible. So what is in our mind now? Atoms cannot be divided further, but that was suggested by Dalton. But later different scientists have found, or they have discovered, atoms can be divided and there exist subatomic particles inside an atom. They are proton, electron and neutron. So in this chapter we will see mainly about this subatomic particles which exist inside the atom. Okay, so and also the different atom models we will study in this chapter. So first of all, let's see the discovery of electron. So who discovered electron? The scientist J.J. Thomson, who discovered this electron, which is the subatomic particles. And later another scientist called Goldstein. The scientist's name is Goldstein. So from a gas discharge he has found some positively charged radiation. From a gas discharge he has found a positively charged radiations, and he called that radiation as canal rays. What he called? He called that radiations as canal rays. And later this discovery leads to the another discovery of next subatomic particle, that is proton. So just to see the order, first found electron by J.J. Thomson, and next Goldstein has found the presence of canal rays, which is a positively charged radiation, and this leads to the discovery of what? Proton. Okay, and this is the major idea, just basic idea, just keep it in mind, and later we will see in detail the properties of electron, proton and neutron. We will see in detail later. But anyhow, just understand few more things related to this electron and proton. Electron is a negatively charged subatomic particle, and proton, which is a positively charged subatomic particle. Just understand, proton is positively charged subatomic particle, and this electron, which is negatively charged particle, and there is a third subatomic particle, that is neutron. We will come to that particle later. Okay, and once this different scientist has found there exist different subatomic particles inside the atom, they are confused, and how will be the arrangement of these particles inside the atom. As a result, they started proposing different models of atom. Atom can be like this, or another scientist proposed some other model. Like some of the major atom models we will see in this chapter, they are Thomson's model, Rutherford's model and Bohr model of atom. The main three models we will see in this chapter. Okay, so the first atom model was suggested by Thomson, that is called Thomson model of atom. The first one is Thomson's model of atom. And why they have actually suggested this atom model? They just wanted to understand how maybe these subatomic particles were present inside the atom. And what was this Thomson's suggestions means? He just compared his atom model with a Christmas pudding. He just compared his atom model with a plum pudding or with a Christmas pudding. And Christmas pudding means, we know there exists a spheric, it will be in a sphere shaped structure, and at the same time inside that pudding or inside that cake or pudding, whatever, it contains dry fruits and all, dry fruits, nuts, etc. So what he has done means that entire spherical portion he just compared with the positive charge, and that dry fruits and nuts present inside it, he just compared it as electrons. That's why Thomson's model is also known as plum pudding model or Christmas pudding model. Also he compared his model of atom with the watermelon. And in watermelon also we know there exists a red edible part, at the same time dry seeds were present inside that watermelon. So that red edible part he compared with the positive charge, and that dry seeds, that seeds he compared with the negative charge. Okay. So remember, Thomson's compared his atom model with these three substances, with Christmas pudding, plum pudding, as well as with the watermelon. Okay. And generally from this idea, what was his postulates means, an atom contained a positively charged sphere. His findings was, an atom contained a positively charged sphere where the negatively charged particles were embedded in it. Like how the dry fruits are embedded in a Christmas pudding, just like that the electrons were embedded in a positively charged sphere. Or how the dry seeds exist in this watermelon. Okay. And the second thing, positive and negative charges should be equal. His next postulate by Thomson is, the positive and negative charges must be equal, then only atom become electrically neutral. Because we have already learned atom is a neutral, atom neutral. So in order to become the neutral, number of positive charge and number of negative charge must be equal. Okay. So the main two postulates of Thomson's model, first one, atom contain a positively charged sphere in which negatively charged particles are embedded, and the second one, positive and negative charges should be equal, then only atom become electrically neutral. So this is the just arrangement of Thomson's model of atom. And this spherical portion is considered as the positively charged species, and inside this positively charged sphere, negative charge is embedded. That is, his atom model was in spherical shape. Okay. And he suggested this point, positive and negative charges must be equal, then only atom become neutral. But later when scientists has conducted studies on this field, this become discarded. His theory become rejected because they have found a little more deeper level. The concept they have found little more deeper level. So his model get rejected. But anyhow, the first atom model who was suggested by whom? Suggested by J.J. Thomson. Okay. And the second one is Rutherford's model of atom. Second atom model is suggested by Rutherford. And why actually Rutherford was studied inside this structure or inside the interior portion of this atom means, he just wanted to know how the electrons are arranged inside the atom, because already Thomson has proved this negative charge were embedded inside the atom, inside a positively charged sphere. So this Rutherford wanted to know how this electrons arrangement in an atom. Okay, so for that he designed an experiment called alpha particle scattering experiment. His experiment is called alpha particle scattering experiment. This is called alpha. Okay, this side. So for that, for this alpha particle experiment, he has taken a gold foil. Gold foil means, why he has taken gold foil means, we know the speciality of gold, which is the most malleable metal. So as much thin as possible he could obtain. He can take that much thin layer of gold, which has a thickness of 1000 atoms, which has thickness of nearly 1000 atoms. That much thin gold layer he has taken. Okay. And next thing, what is this alpha particle means? They are doubly charged helium. Alpha particles, they are charged species. Okay, alpha particles. So alpha particles, they are doubly charged helium nucleus. Doubly charged helium nucleus. So helium nucleus, the mass of helium is what? 4U. So one alpha particle means which is doubly charged helium nucleus. So remember that. And what was actually Rutherford expected? What Rutherford's expectation means, when he passed this alpha particle radiation, this alpha particle when he passed through this gold foil, definitely there will be a deflection. Okay, so based on that deflection, he thought he can study the arrangement of electrons inside the atom. Okay, so now let's see the arrangement of, let's see the experimental setup of this Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. So just see this diagram. So this circle actually represents the gold particles. You can see the diagram in your textbook. So these circles represent, and there exists a center for this circle. So Rutherford is actually passed alpha particle, alpha radiation is passed over this gold foil. And what was his expectation? He was expecting that most of the alpha particles will show a deflection. That was his expectation, because Thomson actually suggested like that. So, and what was his observations means? The major observations is that most of the alpha particle passed through the gold foil without any deflection. That was the first point. Okay, first point, most of the alpha particle passed through the gold foil without any deflection. So he was expected some deflection, but most of the alpha particle passed through the gold foil without showing any deflection. So you can see here, I didn't represent all the radiations here. Whatever we need, I just represented only that. Okay, so here you can see these radiations, they are passed through the atoms without, they are not deflecting, they are just straight passed through these atoms. And second observation, that very few particles show deflection. Very few shows deflection. And again the third one, 1 out of 20,000 radiation which is bounce back with angle 180 degree. So note down the major observation. First thing, most of the alpha particle passed through the gold foil without any deflection. Second one, very few alpha particles shows a deflection when it passed over that gold foil. And next thing was 1 out of 20,000 radiation which is bounce back. That means if it is hits a place, means at the same rate which get bounce back. Okay, with angle of 180 degree. So these are the major observations of Rutherford. And with this observations, he has made some conclusions. Okay, because whatever his expectation, totally against the observation was totally opposite to that his expectations. So based on these observations, he has found most of the space inside the atom is empty. His first conclusion, the conclusions which is made by Rutherford is that most of the space inside the atom is empty. Okay, otherwise what he thought means, as Thomson said, a positively charged sphere exists means, and alpha particle also positively charged. Alpha particle is positively charged radiation, so sure they must have a deflection. It should show a deflection. But here it do not show a deflection. Most of the radiations do not show a deflection. That means most of the space inside the atom is empty. Okay, and the second one, there exists a few negatively. There exists something at the center. That was the second conclusion. There exists something at the center. And the third one, that charge of that area, that central portion which is positively charged. So please note down, the major conclusions are most of the space inside the atom is empty. There exists something at the center of the atom. And the third one, that central portion shows a positive charge, because if it shows positive charge, then only it could bounce back. Okay, because positive and positive that repel each other. So, and after this experiment, this Rutherford has found the mass of the atom is concentrated at the center. The mass of the atom is concentrated at the center, and he called the center of the atom as nucleus. And he has found this nucleus which shows a positive charge. Okay, so these are the major findings of Rutherford. Rutherford from his experiment found most of the alpha particle passed through the gold foil without deflection. Very few shows deflection. 1 by 20,000 of particle bounce back. And the conclusions are, most of the space inside the atom is empty, and there exists something at the center of the atom, and that shows a positive charge. Okay, and after this observations and conclusions, he has found that total mass of the entire mass of the atom is concentrated in to the center, and he called the center as nucleus, and that nucleus charge is what, which shows a positive charge. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.